Yes, it is your boy, Live Wire, and I am back in the motherfucking building, baby. Today we're going to talk about Sea of Thieves, you dirty bastards, the Scarbies. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Live Wire. And I just wanted to do a quick video. I actually got something to do, so I can't spend too much time on this topic. And it doesn't need that much time to be spent on, but I had to just, talk about this. So today, they posted a video of Phil Spencer at the tavern at Sea of Thieves talking about the game. And I think he visited last week, if I'm not mistaken. And he just kind of drops some hints at what kind of game it is. And in light of our past few weeks of hearing Phil Spencer talk about, providing games as a service, and by no means, don't mince words. Sea of Thieves is a game as a service. It is. Microsoft has said so. Phil has said so. It is a game as a service. But the last couple of weeks, people have been complaining, saying that Microsoft is only going to make games that are multiplayer and you can't play them single player at all. So here we go.
And, we see a lot today that people enjoy playing together. And you're building such a, I think, just a magical experience for people to go out on the open seas and have a great time together.
Yep. The magic bit that's always, whenever we have people come and play, is just they finish playing and then it's all, hey, did you see me do this? Did you see me jump off the ship? Did you see me fight those skeletons?
Yeah.
It's just that kind of storytelling moment.
But I do think that it's our job, ours as a team together, is to create something that I can enjoy playing by myself. I can enjoy playing with my friends. I can enjoy playing against my friends. That sense of minute-to-minute achievement that I have through successfully thwarting your attack on our ship, but also the long-term achievement. I mean, and I think about the history of Rare and some of the amazing games that have come out of this place. The team has a really great capability of capturing a unique style and humor and accessibility to the way a game looks, and getting the short-term engagement and the long-term engagement right. And I love the fact that we're taking Rare, one of the kind of historic studios in gaming, and you guys are trying to do something new, creating a new IP. It's always risky, a ton of fun, but also a ton of challenge. Trying to build a game you've never built before.
Absolutely.
In a way that you've never built it before. And I think that's what we should be doing in first party. I think it's great growth in Rare, and it's fun to be part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so from that short snippet of the conversation, you hear Phil Spencer said it's Sea of Thieves is a game that you can enjoy by yourself, single player, a game you can enjoy playing with your friends, multiplayer, and also a game playing against your friends, which sounds like private parties within multiplayer. So all this hoopla over people becoming hysterical, thinking that Microsoft is going to stop making single player games or games that you can play by yourself. Look, man, calm down. Because the thing I think Xbox has realized more so than even Sony is that people like options. They just like options. If you make a single player game, people complain that there's no multiplayer. If you make a multiplayer game, people complain that there's no single player. So you have to give people options. And I think that's more than anything what Phil Spencer is talking about. The days of just making single player games only focused on single player is, it's going to be a hard way to continue doing that forward, because one, those games, because they are single player, they are expected to be heavily polished. Those price tags on development are extremely expensive, and you basically got one shot at this. A single player game is very much like a blockbuster movie releasing. You know, everything has to go right. You don't want any leaks. You know, that all that stuff is extremely important to a single player game. Whereas a multiplayer game, you don't necessarily need a perfect launch to be successful. I mean, look at freaking Rainbow Six Siege. That game had a terrible launch, yet it has been in the top 20 MPDs for the last couple of months. And mind you, it's a game that launched poorly. You know, I don't know if Titanfall 2 will have the same resurgence, only because the gameplay style is so similar to Call of Duty that it's really hard to even justify, uh, really jumping back into Titanfall 2. I mean, yes, they do have the mechs, but I mean that's part of Respawn's fault. They had all those Call of Duty players come in and tell them to Call of Duty up Titanfall, and now they kind of don't really have their identity anymore. And that's an issue that they have, and who knows if they'll fix it or whatever. But it is what it is. But the thing is, I already knew that Sea of Thieves had a single player thing. No, it's not no spoilers. No, there's no you can run off on your own in the alpha, because they haven't implemented that yet. But I do know from forums that I've read that they talk about providing people with solo boats, so you don't have to be in a big old ship, with a crew going across the ocean. You could very well just get in a rowboat, or I don't know if it'll be a rowboat or a small sailboat, a one-man sailboat, and kind of do your own thing if that's what you want to do. All right, and it'll probably be very similar to the way Grand Theft Auto 5 works, right? I mean, for those that have played Grand Theft Auto 5, is like when you jump in, you have the option of making it where you can be in confrontation with people, or you could just play like bystander, like you do your own thing. Yeah, you can fight the NPCs, you can go off and do your treasure hunting, you can do all that stuff. You can see everybody, they just can't interact with you. So therefore, nobody can come up and steal your treasure and all that stuff. If that's what you want to do, you kind of want to play single player within the multiplayer, you could always take that approach to it. But that's basically, look, man, people was freaking out. Now if you don't want, if your bigger freak out is like, oh, I don't want to play a game that's always online, well, then that you got a whole nother problem. Because obviously, like Sea of Thieves and Star Wars Battlefront and a bunch of other games, they're just moving in that direction. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't really play my Xbox without being online, just because it feels weird to me personally. It just feels weird. Like if my Xbox wasn't online playing it feels like I'm like, I don't know, I'd be like stuck in the Stone Age or something. Like I can't see anybody. I don't know if anybody's online. It just feels like I'm by myself. It's almost like I'm like trapped in a room, and like you have no understanding of what the outside world is doing when you're not online on the console. I don't know if, I mean, maybe it's just people that are heavily Xbox gamers that feel that way. It's like, it's almost like having a cell phone, but you ain't got no data. You'd be like, fuck, what is the point of this shit? Well, you can call people. Yeah, no, but I can't get on the internet. I can't do none of this shit. No. It's a phone. Just call people. And that's when people tell me, oh, well, who cares about, being online and all that shit? It's a game. Just play the game. Yes, I like playing the game, but I also like to have the option to interact with my friends, to see what they're doing, to just peek online and be like, oh, okay, such and such is watching TV. Oh, such and such is playing Paladins. Oh, such and such is playing Mafia or whatever, I like that ability to do that. And to me, that's important. As the console moving forward, man, nobody can convince me otherwise. I mean, I think there's more people on PlayStation that haven't really, and I don't even know of Nintendo per se, but because I don't think there's that many people that own a Nintendo only, but people that that were on PS3 and that were like, oh, I'm a lone gamer, and then you move to PlayStation 4 and you're still a lone gamer. Not that there aren't people that are lone gamers on Xbox as well. I just feel like you're cutting out half of your experience by being that way. But you know, each to each his own. But yeah, man, it's good news. We know that, and I think this is going to be the trend moving forward. I mean, I already know that State of Decay is also going to have a single player. Like you could play co-op with friends, but you don't have to, you know. And I think that's also the same thing for Crackdown 3. You could play co-op with friends, but you don't have to. So there's no games coming out this year that don't have, I mean, for as far as an Xbox exclusive, that don't have a form of single player. All three of, and I don't include Forza. We already know what Forza does, but all the games that are coming out for Xbox have some element of single player. You know, to be honest, I think Voodoo Vince is the last single player game we're gonna get as far as the Xbox exclusive for the next little bit, because when Phantom Dust drops, you know, whether you like it or not, that game has multiplayer, and it always had multiplayer. So you could do 2-player co-op, and you could do 4-player versus. So it's 2v2. What else? Then you have Cuphead that comes out. That's 2 players. Actually, I think, I don't know when Below drops, but I believe that is single player. So you have Cuphead, and then Below is the next single player game, and then after Below, I don't know what the next single player game is that they'll have. I mean, I'm talking strictly single player, not games that have, because even if, say, if we had a game like Splinter Cell, and I'm not saying that they would do that, but I mean, they've already done it before, and yes, it was successful, but you know, it was a different era, and Xbox was a leading platform. But say if they had a game like Splinter Cell that had single player. I mean, it's been a long time since Splinter Cell has had single player only. I think since the first one, because I think Pandora's Box had multiplayer. I don't think the first one did. Yeah, I think it was Pandora's Tomorrow. Actually, I think it was called. That was the first one with like mercs versus spies and shit. But yeah, man, it's good news. Xbox is coming out with games. All their games are pretty much going to have a single player mode, and this, you know, Phil Spencer just confirms it again. So have a good one, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, actually, hold up. I don't want to leave you like this. Hold up. Let me turn this. Okay, there we go. Wait, did I do it? All right, cool.
Yeah, I think Wirez.
Oh no, turn that off. God damn it. I got a new sponsor. I'm gonna throw that up. Wait, hold up. Where the fuck's my shit at? God damn it, man. This shit is never where you want it to be. Where that shit at? Click. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right.
Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Gaff and Sony says Microsoft is full of liars and phonies. Ask your local games clerk and they'll say Sony's for the players. Try to separate them, it's a collusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one, you can't have none, you can't have one without the other.
Okay, that was our sponsor by NeoGAF and their buddy Sony. But before I jump out of here, I just wanted to check out, see what y'all are talking about in the chat. What's going on? Who's next? What's popping? I see DJ Sings up here. Yeah, I saw your message earlier. It's funny shit. Let's see. Well, Jay Centuries, not everybody knows. Well, maybe you and I and a few have known that Sea of Thieves was a single player, but sad part is all last week people were talking about Xbox has no single player games. I'm just saying. So they're assuming that Sea of Thieves you could not play by yourself. You know. I don't. They got Dwayne. It says PlayStation. PlayStation ain't playing Titanfall 2 because the other games it was launched in between, and Xbox players ain't playing it because it showed a blue disc. I don't. No, that's not why. Nobody's playing Titanfall like 2 because it didn't play like Titanfall 1. It feels like Call of Duty. I can tell you straight from jumping from the first one to the second one, it felt different. Like nobody asked for them to change the game to that extreme. We just wanted to have more guns, more upgrades, more customization. They gave us more robots, but I didn't really see that many people asking for that. People just want. I don't even think people really wanted more robots. They wanted more options as far as to make their own robot. I wanted to be able to take legs from this robot, arms from that robot, a torso or a bottom piece from this robot, scopes, cannon, something else. Like I wanted to be able to fully customize my machine. They weren't allowing you to do that. They just made it. I mean, which is fine, whatever. They just made more robots, fine. You know, but at the end of the day, the game still didn't play like Titanfall. It played like Call of Duty with Titans. That's what it played like. Who's next? What up, David? What's going on? We got Bats. What's good? What's good? Let's see. Wait, I just saw Kelvin. What's good, Kelvin? Oh, he says got to play it on Moose and Craps morning show. I'll see what J Dubs. I'll talk to J Dubs. He did my other one, so I'll see what he says about this one. So I'll hit him up in the DMs. What's up, Hardbringer? What's good? Yeah, thanks, man. I don't know. Sometimes I just get silly with it and make up little songs. Yeah, you know what? Bats, I agree with you. I I think that's what people are at. I mean, that's what Microsoft is just talking about, is having single player with the multiplayer option. I don't think they're really thinking about making a ton of multiplayer games. You know, I think they're thinking of making about more games that are like Halo than making more games like Overwatch. You know, I mean, because one of the things that makes Halo so popular is because of its lore. I don't necessarily think that's why Overwatch is popular. You know, and I think, and the same thing goes for Gears of War. One of the reasons why Gears of War is so popular is because of its lore. I guess you could, I don't know, like Overwatch is just different in that aspect. You know, it doesn't attract everybody. People that like multiplayer really enjoy it, but people that don't kind of just stay away from it altogether, you know? Dr. Gauntlet says, Sea of Thieves needs more material, needs more detail, trees, weapons, and the ships. You know what? I don't look, I don't know. It's so early in the game. I don't know what they're gonna plan to do to the game to fix it up later. I mean, you gotta understand with Sea of Thieves, they're building the bad boy from the ground up. And they're kind of ushering people along with it. Kind of like basically, all right, we made this world. Like I think the first thing they did was they basically made the whole world for the most part. And they add islands here and there, but for the most part, they make up this whole world. I mean, some parts they don't even like. Some parts you notice it's not finished. I mean, because like one week you're going and the ocean has no bottom. It's like no bottom at all, and then next you're going and you'll be like, oh, they added this, you know. So I mean, it's kind of a work in progress. I don't expect it to be, you know, it's not a finished product by any means. But from what I played, man, it looks good, feels good. Art style is nice, man. I like it. For a cartoony game, it looks good. It looks good. I mean, I understand look, they're not trying to make this Assassin's Creed at Seas or anything like that. They're just not, because they're not going to add blood and all that stuff. They're trying to make it a game that's accessible to everybody. So whether or not you're 5 or 55, they want this game to be a game that you will enjoy playing. I mean, this is a game that you could literally enjoy playing with younger kids. You know, you don't have to worry about, especially if you have your private lobby and you can basically, as an adult, go in there and play with your son or daughter and their friends and their parents possibly. So everybody have their ship, all the parents be in, or the kids could get on the ship and then the adults get on the other ship, and then it's like all the parents versus the kids. Yeah, we can catch you. You're all on punishment. Like, you know, whatever you don't want to do. And I mean, but it's like it's a game that anybody can enjoy, whether or not you're super hardcore. You want to yell, you know, you want to play with your buddies, get drunk, and just yell motherfucker all day, or it's, you know, it's a bunch of little kids playing, man. It's something that's accessible to everybody. DC Universe, you know what? I don't know, because I didn't get a chance to play DC Universe. I tried that when it first came to Xbox, and then I just gave up on that motherfucker. I was like, man, this shit ain't working. Man, fuck this. I just ain't go back. Like, I tried for like 2 weeks straight and shit wasn't working. It was like, oh, you got to pay to get access to it. I was like, nah, fuck that. I ain't doing it. I got too many other games to play. So I just didn't even fuck with it. I mean, I know it was a lot more successful on the PlayStation, but it also came out when there wasn't shit else on the PlayStation. So people are just willing to, I think, throw in like $20 to play a game, because it was like they had DC Universe, you had freaking Killzone, Knack, Warframe, and fuck else. I don't know. Maybe Outlast was about to come out. Yeah, State of Decay. The one you were right. State of Decay. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for it. Do I think Sea of Thieves is gonna come out this year? I don't know. But what I can tell you is, I don't think hype will help it. And what do I mean by that? I'm not saying that the game's not good. I'm just saying that hype won't help this game alone. People need to be able to play this game and watch other people play this game in order to really get hyped for it. I don't think that they can make a trailer of any type that is really going to get most people hyped for this game, because it's visually not that type of game. It's not a, you know, graphical showpiece type game. You know, it's similar to like what people say about Mario, right? You know, Mario could look good, it could be polished, but at some point it's never going to be, it's cartoony. So it's not like Mario ever looks bad. It just really can't look much better, you know, other than you could try to make it look closer to Pixar. Like if Mario was on PS4 or Xbox, it's not going to look any better than what it is. What are you going to make Mario look like a real person? Nobody wants that. So at some point, it's just going to have, you know, unless you're going to change the art style altogether, or you're going to make Marios with multiple different art styles like Mario Paint and Mario Paper and all that stuff. You know, Mario's always going to look, you know, good, and nothing's really going to change that. And there's, you know, it doesn't matter how much power you have. Mario's still going to he's going to look fine either way. So I don't know. Like for me with Sea of Thieves, it doesn't need hype because of that. Because it's similar in that role of, I don't think they're going to go for the ultra realism, and I think they did it on purpose because, with them not going for the ultra realism means that it's a game that's easily upgradable and you don't have to worry about upgrading the graphics. All you need to do is worry about having your game on an engine that can expand, with the user base. So when people want, be like, oh, we're tired of playing on these same, you can expand the universe, add some more of the ocean, add more land mass, add a little bit more land mass. Maybe on that land mass you add horses, and some I wouldn't say DLC because you don't want to do that for this type of game. Everything should just be customary, customization options. So, you go to a place, you find a horse, you could be like, oh, you got to tame a horse, you tame it. And maybe you only could use your horse when you're on land for like this piece of the island that's not that big. It's like maybe the size of, I don't know what game. I don't know, maybe the size of Liberty City, which is fairly big. Or maybe size of one of the city portions on Liberty City. Maybe not the whole map of Liberty City, which that is rather big, but one of the little barrels. That's fine enough for you to run around, maybe get into some shit if that's what they want to do. December, I don't. You know what? This is what I'll say about the release date. The game will be successful no matter what, as long as the multiplayer is good. But it will behoove Microsoft to move it away from the holiday because you give your chance to have a bigger release window, right? I think you would get a huge, you would get a bigger release window after the holidays, like sometime in February and March or April, and you would have a decent sized release window if you had it like in July and August. And why I say that is, people are out during the summer, so there aren't as many people home during the summer times to warrant them wanting to buy a video game all the time. I mean, yes, people do buy video games, but I'm talking about the large quantity. A lot of people are saving up for vacations, other shit. So, they got other things on their mind. When you're in February, March, April, still kind of the winter, a little cold outside. That's when Sea of Thieves, people are still inside. It's a game that'll flourish more so during that time span. So yeah, it'll work. So, but I don't think hype will matter for this game because it's just not that type. It's not a showpiece, so there's nothing you could really show hype wise to really get people amped for it. But what you could do, is Microsoft is smart, is this is a type of thing that you help YouTube content creators make channels around this. So you bring it in, you show it to them, you give them a bunch of ideas that because for Microsoft, they can give them ideas for a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter. It's something that they want to thrive with the game anyway. They don't have to patent it and be the first ones to do it. They just need these content creators. They already have a fan base, so they're not out there trying to make something to catch fire anyway. They already caught fire. They just want something that has their fan bases constantly coming back to them for content. And if they show them like, look, this is what you could do with Sea of Thieves, single player, you could do a multiplayer, have like a show based on you and your friends, one, content creators will really appreciate that, and two, it'll just make the game bigger than what it is. Sea of Thieves look like Battleborn Pirates Edition. Nah, I wouldn't say that because Battleborn, I played Battleborn. It's I don't know. Battleborn is just, it's what it is. Yeah, I think the fastback, to me, Sea of Thieves is a little bit more accessible than Ark Survival. Ark Survival is great, and to me, it's like one of those things. Is like it either gets you or don't. Kind of like Minecraft, you know. Like Minecraft has a lot of users, and one of the real big reasons why it has a lot of users is because they use Minecraft to basically teach kids how to program. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't understand why Minecraft is so big. It's basically a teaching tool, you know. And it went from something. Do you know how I compare it to? It being a teaching tool, Harry Potter. I remember when Harry Potter, my little brother, like they would teach little kids how to read. I think he started reading that book. It was either first or second grade, one of those grades, and he started reading Harry Potter. And that's basically they got the whole class, the whole school, everybody was reading Harry Potter because they basically made it part of the curriculum. So then when they didn't have to read Harry Potter anymore, these kids still went out and bought Harry Potter. Like you don't really hear, I mean, that happened a little bit when I was a kid. You'd be like, oh, Goosebump books, you buy one, you know, the teacher lets you read one and you read a couple. It's kind of like that, you know. And that's the same thing that happened with uh Minecraft, you know, like they use it as a tool, and now these kids are just they in love with it. They just use it all the time. Some of those kids that were like, I don't know, when Minecraft come out, 360. So maybe they were like 12. Now they're like 18. Shit. Um. Yeah, maybe the art style. I see what you're saying. Team Fortress with boats. Art style wise, is somewhat similar. Um, you know what? To me, it just makes more sense for Microsoft to release Sea of Thieves either before Scorpio. It depends on what the arrangement is. Because the thing is, we don't know what's coming out. We don't know what's coming out in the wintertime yet. I don't know if they have something already scheduled for that time period, then they might move Sea of Thieves ahead. If they don't, then they might push it back. You know, I mean, they already know that people complain about, oh, there's nothing to play here. And mind you, you already have Forza, you have Crackdown, you have State of Decay. You don't really need a fourth game. Just like last holiday, I liked Dead Rising 4, but we didn't really need Dead Rising 4 at the tail end. I mean, at the end of the holiday, and it was like December something, 6th, 12th, whatever. We didn't really need it there. They could have literally held that game until like late January, and we would have been fine. Because people are still playing fucking games, and still playing Battlefield 1 and all this other shit. So it wasn't something that was in dire need of. And even though it was a good game and I was looking forward to it, it wasn't something that was like, oh, you got to have this right here. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good question. Going was talking about State of Decay 2 should have a comic book series for it. Could expand State of Decay universe similar to many other successful zombie series. Oh, that's a good question. I guess they can do it. Yeah, you know what? They probably could. Because the zombie types are different enough, even though they don't have like like a real like universal character in State of Decay, because you got all these different like rando characters. Yeah, people know Marcus and Maya, but those are like, if you don't know State of Decay, you never even heard of. Well, maybe you heard of Marcus because he's like the main guy that dies. Because most people, he's like one of the best characters in State of Decay. But for the most part, they don't really have anybody that's like the guy. But the zombies kind of, hold that characteristic with the Juggernaut and the bloaters and the screamers and So yeah, it's possible they could do a State of Decay comic. I would hope they explain kind of like how do they get the bloaters? Like where do these bloaters come from? How do you get the screamers? Like how do these zombies evolve into this? And and then State of Decay will probably have some new zombies, because it's probably like over time they evolve from whatever to something else, So that'd be interesting. Let's see. Big question. John Bond says, "Who the fuck is going to play Sea of Thieves?" I am. That's damn for sure. Well, I already play it now. I'm not playing it this weekend because, unfortunately, I already bought my tickets for Guardians of the Galaxy and kind of coincides with the playtime. Even though they extended it, it's 6 hours this weekend. For me, it would be like 2:00 to 8. So that's cool. But yeah, 6 hours over here. But yeah, I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves. Shit, I was amped to play it. I mean, it just looked different, man. I'm tired of playing the same shit. That's why I've told people before, I wasn't hyped for Horizon Zero Dawn because it looked like some shit I already played before. But Sea of Thieves doesn't look like something I played before at all. And State of Decay looks like an evolution of something I played before, but obviously, State of Decay wasn't polished. And Crackdown, another game that I've played before, but not to this, taken to this other degree. You put in this new element, gameplay, and it's just, it changes the game. Like to me, it would be no different than Halo. Like what Crackdown is doing, it would be no different if Halo took, the base game, and then made it where like, all right, or maybe like multiplayer, right? So say if they made a mode called Halo, I don't know, it's already called Warzone, but I don't know, some Ultra Warzone or whatever. I'll just make some bullshit name up, right? And they make it where you can fight on the ground, you can fight in the air, you can fight in outer space, right? And they'll make it where you have different areas of attack that you have to take down in order to win the match. Similar to what Warzone is. It's like, all right, you start on the ground, you blow up this base, and then now everybody like jumps in the ship, and now you're gonna take off. Now you could take off at any time and go into outer space and try to blow up their base, their mothership, like whether or not it's the Covenant ship or it's the I don't know what fucking kind of ship what's his name has damn, what the fuck is that guy's name? Damn, I can't remember. Okay, I can't remember. It slipped my mind right now. But the new guy from Halo Wars 2, fucking his ass, or the Covenant, or whether or not it's Infinite. So whichever, man, whichever, that'd be dope. But they could take a lot of these franchises to the next step, man. They just, I think to me that's how you compete with Sony, not trying to do the same shit. Like Sony can get away with just making a more cinematic game because one, that's their bread and butter. That's what they're good at. They make movies, so to make a game that's more like a movie ain't shit for them. That's what they do already. But to me, Microsoft going in that same direction, it just doesn't make sense. You know, to me, that's like Odell Beckham trying to be like LeBron. You know, Odell Beckham could put. I don't. For those that don't know, Odell Beckham is like a freak athlete in mad different sports. He can play soccer really well. He can play football really well. He can play basketball really well, right? But for him to turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and be the best small forward or best basketball player in basketball," he could try, but to me, that's now you're losing focus, and that's not necessarily what you're great at. You know, what he's great at is football. He's amazing. He's outstanding in football. But for him to turn around and be like, I want to play basketball, yes, he might even be good. But he's never going to be as good as LeBron, who's been playing basketball since day one. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense for him to try to compete against somebody who's doing this, focusing on this since day one. The fact that he has the ability to play football extremely well, something, yes, LeBron James could probably do too. But guess what? He can't do it as good as Odell, because Odell's been playing this focus since a younger age. So to me, it's more like stay in your own lane. Like, do what you do well and focus on that first. And don't lose track of that. And then if you want to be like the Bo Jackson or, you know, the Deion Sanders and like try to branch off and do something else, then okay. All right. But you got to be good at both. They were good at both. You can't be good at one and then kind of be like, at the other one. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. Halo multiplayer had destructible. Yeah. I think, you know, fully destructible. I don't know. Because when you go on fully destructible, now you're talking about fucking with the whole map. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think certain things should be destructible. Other things, you know, maybe not so much. Because I mean, one of the parts of Halo is being able to, you know, learn the whole map. Like, people like playing Halo, learning the map, and then being able to strategically, you know, understand how to, you know, go about executing their game plan throughout that particular map. So if you go into Halo and start saying, "Oh, we're going to make everything destructible," I don't know if that's the best place to do that. I think you can do other things with Halo without really fucking with the core of what Halo is for a lot of people. Unless you're going to make a mode where it's like, you'd be like, all right, well, this particular mode is like demolition, and then, you know, things are destructible here. Then okay, then people won't be bitching and complaining because it's like, it's not the whole game, it's just this mode. I don't know if they would do that because it seems like a lot of work just to do for one singular mode, but who knows? You know, to me, that's something I would just rather reserve for another game altogether. Like, to me, this is what I think. I think the next Forza Horizon should have destructible shit. Like, I should be able, in the next Forza Horizon, I would love it that, you know, if possible, if I have a big enough truck, I can drive through somebody's house. That shit will be insane. I mean, obviously, if I'm driving a fucking car, that shouldn't necessarily, or maybe if I get a car, right? If I drive a car, it'll be like, we'll say, they ramp it up. It's like, all right, we'll put the full physics on. But the thing is, you could drive through houses, but at the same time, your car takes maximum, you know, it takes more damage. So you can't just be, you know, you can't have both. It's not going to allow you to just make your car a straight up battering ram running through houses all day. You know, because after a while, it'd be like, what the fuck are these houses made out of? This car should have been gone, you know? Man, I'm excited for all the games that are coming out this year, to be honest. I mean, I know people are so like wrapped up in the whole like what's coming next, but I'm not even ready to even talk about that shit yet because I barely know what's coming out now. Like, we haven't really seen that much of State of Decay 2. We haven't seen that much of Crackdown 3. I mean, I've seen a decent amount of Sea of Thieves, but I still don't know the whole, the whole big picture of it. So it's hard for me to even like you could be playing the game, like I'm playing in alpha. I could be playing the game and still have very little understanding of what, this game is, because I'm only playing, a semi-polished version of the world. Like they basically let you ride on the ship and do a few activities here and there, but it's not really like a big picture. I can see where things may go, and when you stumble onto certain things, you're like, oh, okay, I can see something being here, something being there, but those things aren't implemented yet. So it's like it's hard for me to really say, what's going to be in that. So I'm just, I'm excited, just anticipating what they'll do with it more so than anything. But my big pet peeve is when people go in the Sea of Thieves alpha, get in it and be like, man, this shit is whack because I don't got anything to do with it. I'm like, dude, this is an alpha. They didn't even add, like, did you look at the trailers? There's no fish. like there's a lot of shit that's not in. There's no dolphins, whales, fish, sharks. None of that shit's in there. They have it. They might have it in their private builds and shit. They working out the kinks and all that shit where, you got the mannerisms of the animals and all that shit. There's probably a lot of shit that, you're only seeing a handful of shit. Like, you never know. They might have birds, like in certain areas, the birds fuck with you. You never know. You never know. There's a lot of shit that's not there. They have to add all that shit in, so it's hard for me to really judge it and say, oh, it's not going to be this great game, Let's see. Ricardo. Ricardo says, how do you know Sea of Thieves can be played solo? Will there be solo ships? Yes, they said that in the forum a while ago. There will be like a small rowboat type of ship for people that want to play solo player. Like you just want to play, you want to just start the game and play by yourself, you could do that. And I'm assuming that'll be for people that, like, say if you right now everything's party based, so you can't just jump in the game by yourself. You'll automatically be put with a crew. And I understand why they probably do that. It's to prevent people from playing by themselves, because guess what? When the game comes out, you can play by yourself all you want. But right now they're trying to make sure everybody understands, like, the real purpose of the game is to play with your friends and have your crews, understanding how the ship works. And that's important. And if everybody just jumps in their own ship and does their own thing, it's hard. Like, you might have a few people that understand what to do, but then you have all these other people in these little rowboats all over the place, not having any idea of how to really play the game. And I think that's the reason why they would do an alpha like this, because when it started, it was just basically like, I was in the original alpha, but from what I know, you didn't have any weapons. I don't think you even had guns. Like in the original alpha, you didn't have any kind of weapons. It was just basically on a ship, and you had cannons, and you can jump off. I think you could drink grog, and you could play music. There was no treasure. Like, it was just ship combat. That's all there was when it started, and then now they've added a lot of little things, and they will continue to do that. So. All right, let's see. True Gamer, what's good? Oh, Mario Odyssey. Yeah, Mario Odyssey looks cool. It looks cool. It says, what is the... All right, let's see. What's funny is the most people are bashing games. Like, really, I'm looking forward to playing most of them, and won't be able to buy them all. Yeah, that's damn for sure. On Sea of Thieves, I am the captain. Okay. Uh, everyone follow me. We're going to get the booty treasure. Yeah, Sea of Thieves is, I don't, well, they're giving possible ratings. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what they'll rate it. To be honest, I don't know if it really matters. Destiny got rated a 6.7 or some shit like that because it had no story. But in Sea of Thieves, I know there's bad guys. We've seen them. There's like ghost captains and there's monsters. So there are villains or villainous type people in this game. So yeah, I mean, we just don't know enough about it. I mean, hopefully we see something by the early holidays, so that'd be nice. I mean, and when I mean holiday, I mean E3. E3 is like gamer holiday. It's like the all-star game for gaming people. But I think it's going to be good, man. This is probably, I'm going to be honest, this is probably one of the most exciting E3s as far as gaming per se, because the thing is, last year was cool, but we knew that we're going to get a Forza Horizon. We knew it would be good. We didn't know it would be this good, but we knew it would be good. Like, think about it. Forza Horizon 3 was just as good as Forza Horizon 2. No better, no worse. I think people would have been okay with it. I don't think anybody would have been hating on it. The only thing is people would have felt like, well, even though the game is good, it plays well, everything, they'd be like, I would have been okay with just playing Forza 2, because nothing really changed. Now, obviously, they have a different location and all that stuff, and they did all those different changes to it to make it feel like a completely different game and just better all around. But with Gears of War is Gears. It looks better, yes, but it's still Gears of War. No different than Uncharted. The only thing is people just didn't hype it up like Uncharted. I don't know. It's still the same game, no different. I never really got that. People play Uncharted and be like, "Oh my God, Uncharted! It's like Uncharted, but it's like Uncharted." And then the same person will be like, "Oh, this is Gears. It's like Gears, but it's just like Gears." Be like, "Yeah, okay. It's the same difference, man. Like both of them look graphically better than their predecessors. Well, Gears of War does have better multiplayer than Gears, than its predecessor, Gears Judgment. That was just not great. Uncharted, unfortunately, didn't, but nobody cares about Uncharted's multiplayer, so it doesn't really, it's not lower tier like Tomb Raider's multiplayer was when they had it, but it's not good. But yeah, man. See, what I'm looking at is Sea of Thieves. This lineup is probably the most interesting lineup. You got a new IP nobody's ever even heard of. A lot different than Recore. Recore people were excited for, but it just didn't. I mean, once they slapped the $40 on it, you kind of understood that this is going to be a smaller title. It doesn't have the longevity. We didn't know what Recore was going to have. Sea of Thieves, they've already been talking about it for like the last 2 years. It's going to be a service, so you're going to get your value out of it. Yeah, so there's really no comparison between Sea of Thieves and Recore. Recore was a single player campaign, and I don't know how they're going to do campaign. I know they have campaigns in Sea of Thieves. I just don't know how they're going to do them. And then you got State of Decay, which is a lot of people have been asking for. And Crackdown is something Crackdown is going to be, I think Crackdown has the ability to be equally as important as as PlayStation getting God of War or Spider-Man. And why do I say that? Well, Crackdown alone, just being, I mean, because the thing is, people act like everybody bought Crackdown. No, I think Crackdown cracked 3 mil. I don't even think it did much more than that. I don't think it did 5 or nothing like that. I think it did like 3. You know, so there's a lot of people that haven't played Crackdown. One, it's a superhero type game. I mean, obviously you're a super police officer or whatever, but still it's superhero type. You got all these special abilities, you run super fast, super strong, all that shit, right? It's like, so I guess it would be like, it's like what's that game? Damn, what was the name of that game? Saints Row. It's like Saints Row minus the whole dildos and all that shit, right? And then you got the aspect of cloud computing, all that physical destruction and shit. All right, cool. So it matches up well versus Spider-Man. And I don't mean like head to head, literally going to get the sales of it. No, because Spider-Man is a huge name and Crackdown is like, you know, it's like, what's Crackdown? But when you see it, that's where it should shine. Because to be honest, they both have similar art styles. I mean, Crackdown might be a little bit more cartoony, but Spider-Man is going to also be cartoony. Because hold up, if I don't, let me see if I could look it up. I swear, they had a Spider-Man game trailer, and that shit looked cartoony. It didn't look bad or anything. It just looked cartoony, you know. What was it? I mean, what's the recent shit? There was some recent shit. All right, looks like the same shit. So I hold up.
No pressure, right?
All right, I'll put it on. Where's that shit at? All right, move this damn mouse pad. All right, so we can look at this.
People see me and think they're safer. But it's not really me they're seeing. Probably for the best. Knowing everything hinges on a guy from Queens sounds as scary as it feels. No pressure, right?
Yeah, I mean, I won't say cartoony, but you know, I don't know. What does this look like? Looks like State of Decay, to be honest. Like this is what these characters kind of look like the first State of Decay, or maybe even the State of Decay now. Might look about the same. Like, yeah. I know people were like, "Oh my God, look at this! Still looks like Spider-Man." I mean, it's obviously going to look better. It's going to be like, yeah, Grand Theft Auto-ish. Yeah, it looks kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5 a little bit. You know, Grand Theft Auto's not like the most polished looking game. I mean, it was for its time period, but right now it doesn't. You know, that shit don't hold up next to Uncharted or Gears of War or nothing, or God of War. Yeah, but like I said, it looks good, but it's not on the level of what's your name? What's that game? Uncharted. It's not on that same level, so. But yeah, man. So State of Decay will, it can hold its own. Matter of fact, since we're on that, might as well look at that trailer. Because I believe, not State of Decay, damn it, Crackdown. State of Decay don't really got a trailer like that. There's a trailer at Jesus.
Honda knows you're always on the lookout for something better, which is why we took the best-selling CUV in America.
You're killing me,
and gave it more
you're killing me.
space than ever before.
Really? Well, I'm gonna mute this shit right now. Well, anyway, so I'm trying to pull up this Crackdown shit, and what I'm thinking is it's gonna be interesting. I think people are gonna enjoy these games that are coming out. I think there's because Microsoft hadn't said anything much. Oh, hold up, hadn't said much early. People just bitch. It is what it is. I mean, I don't even worry about half that shit because it's like, damn, I can't even enjoy the games I got now. Like, shit, I didn't play everything. I still haven't played Mafia 3 yet. Literally, I still haven't played it. Whether or not people like it or not, that's irrelevant. I haven't played it. I didn't really play Titanfall neither. I haven't played fucking Call of Duty. Not that I want to, but I haven't played it. I haven't played Watch Dogs too. There's a lot of shit I haven't played, and I played a lot of shit, but I haven't played those games. I played all the Xbox exclusives, and I played obviously Battlefront, and Battlefield, and what the fuck else came out? I don't know. I can't fucking remember. It's a lot of shit I've been playing. A lot of indies, man. That Little Nightmare, that is a great fucking game. Little Nightmare is a great fucking game. Even with the camera being stagnant, because it's like one of those games where it controls where you can look to, really hit you with those jump scares. That shit is dope. All right, let's look at this.
Some people look out on the city and just see lights.
Now hold up. Straight up from the jump. Now granted, art style slightly different. But this shit looks better to me than Spider-Man. Man, what the fuck? Man, go back, bitch. Go back. Back it up. All right. This whole art style looks better to me than Spider-Man. Granted, it's grandiose and it's a little. Obviously, it's different. It's not mimicked after New York City, but the shit looks better. And I'm assuming this is probably going to be more so what the Scorpio version looks like. I don't think it's going to get a downgrade at all. Matter of fact, it might even get boosted up.
I see lives, Agent, burning with hope for a better future.
Now, see, this shit is going to be amazing, man. Not to say that Spider-Man isn't, because it is. It's also going to be a good game. But to me, this is just as impressive graphically as Spider-Man, as we just watched. All right? This might be a little bit more cartoony because you got more of a, it's not really cell shaded, but it's like teetering there, but not quite.
But what happens when evil comes out of the shadows? We do what we always do. We go to work.
Man, this game's gonna be bad ass. I'm telling you.
Team at Reagent Games is proud to bring you our vision of the ultimate sandbox. Explore the heights of a futuristic city. Race through the streets in a transforming vehicle, and use your powerful abilities to stop a ruthless criminal empire. Crackdown 3 delivers the classic gameplay in a brand new way.
But they don't really show much here. They do mostly talking. Actually, there was something on here, something else. There was like a Crackdown 3 demo shit. Not the one that everybody thinks about. It was this other one. Pre-alpha demo footage. No, not that one. No, not that one. Preview. No. Yep, this is it. Gameplay, yeah. This is what I thought was kind of. Wait, I think this is it. Just watching the physics out this bitch is fucking dope. Like that game, like this gameplay mechanics is fucking hot, man. Watching shit built, that shit is crazy, man. Oh yeah, this is the other shit I was looking at. Like on Crackdown, they got like, because everything is based around blowing shit up. They got like all these different bombs that you could like fucking stick together and like tape around shit and all that, you know, all this crazy connection shit. I will blow up a bridge just to drive across that motherfucker through a building. Oh, that should be dope. Oh man, it's amazing. They got some detonator shit too. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. The Crackdown looks good, man. Equally as impressive, just in a different way. Let's see. No, what the fuck? All right. Let's see. Where the fuck was I? I was at something. And is this it? The hell? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. But yeah, man, like I said, I can't wait. This is going to be a great E3. I just want to see all these games that we're getting. Anything else is nice. I'll take it, you know, but I really just want to know about the shit that we're getting. You know, all the other shit that we're gonna hear about, that's cool too. But I just want to know about the shit we're getting, man. I just can't wait for it. Let's see. Who said fourth? What? Crackdown looks like a. He said Crackdown looks like the real and only next gen game. In a ways, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, everybody has to find their own thing, you know. I just like, to me, it all has to work, you know. It's cool to have a game that, you know, you it's cool to have a game that you can, you know, do all that crazy shit, break walls and do all that wild shit. But the thing is, if the story doesn't compel you to do it, you know, continue doing stuff, you know, that's where you might lose people. I mean, even though the multiplayer could keep people around, but I'm just talking for the single player aspect, for those people that, you know, they only play games for single player, you know, because there'll be a lot of people that play Crackdown just to see how the physics work, just day one. I want to see how this works, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, you know, then it's the story that can keep people around. Then it's the multiplayer that can keep people around, you know. But yeah, man, I'm hearing all these doggone cop cars going behind me, so that means that it's midday. I don't know why it is. It's always like around 3 something that it's like it's either that they're really going to do something or they out here just putting that shit on so they can run the lights, because you know cops be like to do that shit. They stay like run lights for some goddamn reason. But anyway, man, this is your boy Livewire, and I'm about to get out this bitch, and I'll holler at y'all later. What today's Thursday? Yeah, it's a good day. But I'll be on GRG on Friday. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave you with what in the fuck? Hold on. God damn it. Listen, bitch. Who is this? Nah, fuck that. Leave a message. Leave a message. I don't know who you is. Some weird ass number. Man, it's hot as ball sacks out this bitch. It's getting warm out this motherfucker. I swear it is. Like, am I? Okay. All right. But again, leaving you with my commercial from NeoGaf.
Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Gaff and Sony says Microsoft is full of liars and phonies. Ask your local games clerk and they'll say Sony's for the players. Try to separate them, it's a collusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one, you can't have none, you can't have one without the other.
All right, that's from Gaff and Sony, and I'm out this bitch. This is your boy Livewire. Peace and hair grease, and I'm out. Later.